Hi, my name is Reed. I've gotten like 5 or 6 emails alone and about 1,000 comments asking me as to how to build this. Honestly, I just winged it when I first started building it. What I did was, let me grab this template that I have over here. I have this template that I made, and what I did was, first, I figured out which guitar I was going to put as the top guitar and which guitar I was going to put as the lower guitar. And I think this Strat I originally made has a top guitar, and the one that I have is the silver tones on top and Strats on bottom, excuse me. So what I did was, I just traced them both out onto a piece of paper, and then I traced them separately, and then I cut them, and I added the extra pieces, and then I put center marks across each, and then I sort of figured out with the bodies as to, how far apart I wanted the necks and how far apart I wanted the pickups and all that good stuff. So once I made the 2 templates, I just laid one guitar on top of it so I could sort of see where the neck was. So I had this template out, and then I had one guitar body laying on top of the template with a neck on it, and so I just traced that, and then I did the same with the other, except this template was there and the other guitar was there. And so once I traced it and figured out how far apart I wanted them, I just measured across so they would be straight. So this measurement that I have down here is the same as this measurement between the necks and the center lines. And I just drew the center line across this part of the template so the bodies would be lined up. I had a line going straight down this way, but that obviously got cut off, so I drew a line that went straight down the middle. So then, with this, now that I had them laid out, what I cut off of the template was what I had to cut off the bodies. So when I cut off the body, or when I cut off the template, I just laid out on the body and made like a really rough cut. And that happened with both the bodies. And then in one of the pictures I have both the bodies lined up straight like this. So then I can, I planed them together with a planer so they would have about the same, plane, so when I glued them together it would be a strong hold. And I glued them together with Gorilla Glue, and I just clamped them on the insides and on the outsides, and I put pieces of wood, and also I clamped them this way, so when I clamped them, they wouldn't slide on me either way. Then after that, all I did was, since these parts right here weren't matching up, this one came down like this, because this was this part over here, but it came up and then it was straight down, and this one just met down there. So I just cut off the piece, and I just hand sanded it so it was rounded about the same as what the rest of the body is. And then after that I sanded all the seam so it would be one smooth piece, and I sanded the seam on the back too, except over here the body cut out, this little resting piece was still on this side, but you can kind of see it right there, so I just filled that in with wood putty and then sanded that and made it one smooth piece. And then when it came to the bottom, I sanded where they met really well, as you can probably see from the picture, and I ended up having to cut this because this body, the arc of it down here, was somewhat larger than what it was on this side. The bodies weren't an exact match, but I cut them so it would be. And I just cut it straight across, and I sanded it and everything, and I rounded this edge too, and I made it smooth around this edge. And then after that, I put nails in all the holes on the bodies, even if I was going to use them or not, because I wasn't entirely sure, because I was just winging it. I put the nails in all the holes that were for around the edge of the pick guard, around the edge, or these two holes for the pickup jack, the two holes that I had in the bottom for the strap button, and I did both of them because I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. I ended up using the top one. So it feels like I'm just holding one guitar, except there's just a lower part. And I put holes in all these back plate holes, so then when I painted it, they wouldn't get filled in. And then after that, I did electronics with my grandpa, and I'm going to take the guitar apart so I can show you the electronics. And I will have that in hopefully about 10 minutes. Alright, so what I guess I'll do before I explain how to do the wiring, or how I did the wiring, is how I made the pick guard. All I did was I took a piece of laminate and I traced out on a piece of paper where all the holes were, and I traced I had two of these pick guards, one from each guitar, and I traced it on one side. I had the piece of paper laying over the body so I could match up the holes, and I traced it. And then I had the piece of paper laying over the other side, and I just moved it over and just traced it and plotted all the holes that way. And so then I took that piece of paper